Everybody's muted. Everything is muted. Everything is muted. Hello. Oh my god. Okay, I was just. Oh fuck, we've got alerts. Okay, pause. Pause. Hi guys. Oh my god, we're getting Miku beamed right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we're getting Miku beamed. Yeah, hi guys. Okay, chat. I was just explaining. We're gonna have Siren introduce herself in a second, but I was just explaining to Siren the lore behind my VTuber, which you guys already know, or like if you've been around, you already know, which is that prior to becoming a VTuber, and after retiring from competitive gymnastics, I thought that I was going to become a clown, like
I love that.
in real life, like actually. And so I went to clown college. Like I actually, that's like a real thing. Like people think I'm capping, but like clown college is still a very real thing. And I went to clown college and I thought that I was gonna fucking kill it because I was like, okay, like how many people in clown college are already contortionists? Like theoretically, I was like, I'm gonna fucking nail this. This is gonna be so easy. This is gonna be so fucking great. And the the problem is that I was so good at clown college that I got kicked out of clown college.
That's wild, actually.
Basically, no, so like, hear me out. Oh god, thank you for the bed. Yeah, so like, oh my god, I need this alert to stop. Yeah, so like the basic explanation is that like clowns are supposed to, apparently clowns are like supposed to fuck up. They're supposed to like not be good at clown things, and that's like the funny thing. And like in preparation for clown college, like as somebody from a gymnastics background, I was very diligent. Like before even going to clown college, I made sure I could juggle. I made sure that I could ride a unicycle. I made sure that I could do balloon animals. Like I was ready. And then I found out that you're actually not supposed to be good at all of those things, and that like being good at those things make you a bad clown. So now I'm an internet clown. But yeah, I basically got told to quit clown school. But that was, yeah, that's the lore. That's the lore.
I love that.
Yeah, if I'm a mom, does that mean I'm a MILF? I guess it depends on who you ask. Yeah, I mean, I fuck myself. So like I guess by like that like measure. Yeah, I guess by that measure.
One of my favorite VTubers, she's also like mutuals with me on like
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff. She's 40 and she's a grandmother.
Oh shit.
So I literally
actually
always,
my mom's 36 and a grandmother. Oh fuck.
So like I always joke, she's also like, you know, happily married and like whatnot too. And
unrelatable,
I
but
always
yeah.
joke. I always joke and say that she's the hottest gilf on Twitch.
I love that. My mom actually, I just lore dropped this the other day, but my mom was a VTuber for 3 months during COVID when her business shut down, and she was very much like a mommy VTuber. Like, I mean, not just because like she's my mom, but like because my mom is just this like big tittied goth baddie, and so like that was her VTuber persona too. So like, yeah, she VTubed for like 3 months, and then she didn't even graduate. Like, she didn't even tell people that she was leaving. She just stopped streaming and went back to work. And she had like on average maybe like 80 to 100 viewers, and she just fucking ghosted them. Like dead ass. Yeah, Mama Fish just like fucking left. She was just like, "Oh, well that was fun. Time to go back to work."
Crazy.
Anyways, chat, I am going to put Siren front, center, middle with her little PNG, and she's gonna tell you who she is. Yeah. I'm putting
Hi,
you in the hot
everyone.
seat.
That's okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Siren. I am a Siren VTuber. I will put my own cute little emotes in chat so you guys can see the actual like full fish part of me.
Yes.
I actually recently found Finn, and I loved everything that she is currently doing, especially trying to make a CTuber group, which
I
is awesome.
am.
Um,
Siren might join.
and
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
yeah,
see.
I'm cross your fingers and
Yeah.
toes for me, chat.
She's already
Because I
collabing with me, chat.
and I'm also a Vtuber, so
Yeah.
I
She's
thought
sexy.
that this would actually be good for some input about like my views being in the SW community, you know? So
Siren is
everybody that is one of my best friends.
okay.
Everybody knows my IRL name.
I
shouted
was gonna
I
ask, but then I
shouted
was like,
out
fuck, I
your
can't ask.
yes, my IRL name is Kaylin.
Oh, thank fuck. Because I was like,
Every
at first I was gonna be like, oh shit.
it.
And then I was like, fuck, no, if I bring attention to that's like bad. So I'm like, oh,
No, it's fine. That is one of my best friends, Sana. I shouted out your streams in my Discord server.
Fuck. Just minor panic.
It's okay.
Minor panic. Oh my god. Yeah, no, and it's great because I messaged her. We were talking about this last night, and I was like, you know what? It's great because like you do sexy work and you're gay, and those are like two things that I don't do that you can like talk about from experience.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really helpful. But the lore on this chat, in case you don't know why we are here, is in my Discord, maybe like a month ago. I don't know. I think I mentioned something offhand. I think I was like, oh, I'm ovulating. And then somebody was like, the fuck is that? I was just like, what do you mean? What is that? What? And for anybody new here, the like average age, I would say that like the average age of my viewership is at least 30. Like I have viewers that are older than me. So I was a little bit surprised. I was a little bit surprised because I was just like, you know, how do you make it to this relative age and not know about these things? And so I was like, you know what, guys? I'm gonna teach you guys about sex. So here we are. I have a very, very basic presentation. As a Gen Z, I'm gonna be so fucking for real with you.
Order Miss Tornado to duty on my face.
Thanks. Oh my god, yeah, no, oh no, all of the goddamn alerts.
I order Miss Tornado to duty on my face.
Oh god. Yeah, so this is so cursed. Yeah, so now here we are teaching everybody about sex. We're gonna cover a lot of topics. We are gonna I'll give you guys the overview. But we are starting with biology. Going to talk about sexual activity, cover considerations like consent, disease, pregnancy. We have to touch on sexual abuse. If you have to dip at that point, I understand. We're going to be talking about sexuality. And we're finally going to end with kink because that's the fun part. So, I am at least starting us with you guys can't redeem funny hat twice. I'm not reliving the stream where I put on 10 hats, okay? We're not doing that tonight, chat. Oh my gosh. My chat likes to troll me.
That's okay. Mine does the same thing.
I feel, oh my god, I feel like this is the like dreamer experience.
Mine like to spam throw things at me, and my throwable things are gummy sharks. So I literally
That's so
have
cute.
like I have a clip where it's literally just like a straight minute of
Oh
me
my
being hit with gummy
god.
sharks. I'm just like, guys, please don't break my model.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
It was so funny.
Oh my god. Can I give Siren a hat? That's a good question. Let me see. Here, you guys have to be on a different screen because you can't see the inner workings of VTube Studio. That would break immersion, obviously, since we are clearly both actually fish. So I have to keep the illusion up, okay? I think she's relatively right around here with her model. We're gonna find out. We're going to find out. All right. Did I? Oh fuck! It's behind. No, I can't put it on top of you.
Put
Yeah.
put the Discord PNG behind your VTube Studio in OBS.
Oh, okay. That's
Just drag it down.
so smart. Okay. That's so smart. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, it's not perfect, but I'm just gonna move you. There you go. Now you're wearing a pirate hat. There you go.
I actually have a pirate outfit too, so it's fitting.
Allie, I think I saw that. I think I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Okay, chat. We could yap all night. Yeah, we could yap all night, but we have to get down to it. So I am going to we're gonna start here with biology, and we are gonna start with the female anatomy because I feel like you all need a refresher on this. And I pay no attention to the fish tuber behind the curtain exactly. I feel like you all need a refresher on how this works, okay? Hopefully I don't. I did so much research and I'm pretty sure this falls under education and I should not get bonked by either YouTube or Twitch from my understanding. I'm gonna make this bigger, okay? You guys, oh boy, that is a little bit large. Okay, yeah, no, I probably shouldn't tongue an ovary, actually. That's probably not appropriate. Anyways, oh fuck. This is the female, this is the female reproductive system. We are gonna start with the internal internal organs.
Duty on my
Yeah, you've been with a woman before. Wait, Infi, why did I feel like I didn't know that? Not to be like that, but I feel like I didn't know that. Why did I think that you were gay? It's fine. You know what? Sexuality is like a spectrum anyways. Yeah. It's a spectrum anyways. And this is completely this is literally like a school, like picture book of everything, chat. Okay. So we are gonna start at the top. Yeah, oh my god. That's what I have to tell you, Siren. I don't know how this happened. But somehow I've just been like adopted by a bunch of gay uncles. I don't know how my audience ended up being a bunch of like bi, gay, like LGBT 30 and 40-year-old men.
You
But
know
it
what?
did.
I think that shows that you're one of the boys, honestly. I
I
think that's the gay
mean,
version of being one of the boys.
yeah, no, they were in my Discord earlier. There was a very active conversation about sizing. And it was all men talking about it. It was interesting. Okay, chat. Actual educational Finley, putting on my like teacher lab coat, whatever. Okay. We need to start here at the top. Okay. Typically women have 2 ovaries. Ovaries are responsible for ovulation. Ovulation. Make sense, chat? Should make sense, right? Ovulation is the process of like getting your eggs. So, like, your ovaries have a bunch of eggs. That's how you make babies, chat. And when you ovulate, you like release one of those and it goes through your like whole system. It goes through your fallopian tubes that you can see here, and it goes through your uterus, your cervix, and it goes out your vagina. Yeah, no, I'm fucking serious. I'm giving you guys sex ed. You clearly need this. I was not fucking around. Tired of streaming to 0? Let's change that. Only stream promotion bot. Thank you, stream promotion bot. But we're at 6-7, and I think I think that's funny. I think we're okay. I'm gonna deny that message. If you don't need a refresher, that's fine. But here we are doing our thing. Yeah, ovulation happen. yeah, I'm telling you guys, it was not just I don't believe it was just one person. Now what people don't really know about ovulation, so they might know like what it is, but what they don't understand is that like, so when this egg is like released from your ovary and it's like usually halfway through your cycle. That's right, Siren? Like halfway through your menstrual cycle's ovulation, I think.
It is, you start ovulating like, usually it's like 2 weeks. After, like, the period ends. So yeah, about that.
So like halfway. But like what people don't realize is that I think it's up like 40% of people get pain with ovulation. And then there's all of the hormonal shifts. So for women, our ovaries are a main contributor to our hormones. And so we can have like a lot of soreness, a lot of cramping. We can have like tenderness in our boobs. But what I was referring to when I was talking about ovulation is that typically when women are like I'm ovulating, it's because you have a heightened sex drive during ovulation. It's your body, like it's literally biology telling you to go get pregnant. Like, and I'm not kidding, like dead ass, because like we are all like still wired for that. Like whether we're actively trying to get pregnant or not, like our body and our hormones send us signals that are like, hey, time to go get cream pied and have a baby. Like that's literally, yeah, that's literally what it is. But oh yeah, there was also, Siren, did you see like a couple months ago or like earlier this year, wasn't there like a VTuber ovulation tracker like this year, last
Oh my
year?
God, yeah. Yeah,
I thought that was
there
so
was a
fucking
guy.
funny.
No, so it was a guy who was tracking his duo partner's ovulation like thing. So that way he knew when they could play games together because she would play better when she wasn't
That's
like
actually
going on
really
her
fucking
period.
funny.
And that's what
Yeah.
started the whole like oh, I can't everybody like making like period accounts and like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember people being like super pissed about it. And I understand that it can be invasive, but it was also
I
just
thought it was
really,
so
it
funny.
was just really funny. Yeah. I've personally thought that it was like very like hee ha ha. Yeah, I thought it was like very hee ha ha. Um, but yeah, no. It's yeah, no, I think the website is gone. I don't think the website exists anymore. Yeah, I'm like
Well, that's
fairly
my husband.
certain that it got taken down. Yeah, I'm like pretty sure. I mean, I haven't like checked in a while, but I'm like pretty sure. Um, yeah, so ovulation can be painful, can be crampy, can also be horny as fuck. That's like the basics of it because again, your body is just releasing that egg and it's like, get me pregnant. My opinion, at least, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, Siren, but like my opinion is that periods are just like your body's revenge on you for not getting
Yes.
pregnant.
Yes, I literally tell my husband this, who is actually in your chat right now. He's Mr. of the Sea. I
Oh,
tell my husband
hi.
this all the time when literally he's just like, "What's wrong?" And I just like glare up at him and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Mother Nature is cursing me for not getting pregnant and being
Yeah.
bred."
You're just like, well, what's wrong is that you didn't get me pregnant. Like
Yep.
that's that's the whole issue. Talking about periods. So moving on from ovulation and talking about periods. So periods happen typically monthly. Now there can be women's issues that cause periods to happen less often. Also, there are like birth control and devices that you can use to get a period less often. But typically, naturally, women shed their uterine lining monthly. So, like on the chart here, you know, it'll be like a buildup of tissues, and then once a month, it just like all falls out. Yeah, just like all falls out. And I think that like the biggest thing that we don't talk about more is, and you can tell me how you feel because you have a little bit more experience being a little bit older than me. Like, do you feel that like in the last couple of years, talks around like periods and how they can be painful and stuff have been like more commonplace and more open? Because my mom has a lot of like
Yeah,
reproductive issues, and she told me that like she had not gotten real help for it
I guess
until maybe like the
endometriosis.
last
Yep.
5 years. Yeah, until like the last
Endometriosis
5 years.
is the immune disease that actually
Oh,
makes it really, really hard to get pregnant. And it also makes your periods like feel like even worse. And you could also like bleed heavier. And like they like endometriosis can, depending on how severe it is, can actually put like women like in the hospital from like the pain.
oh my
It is,
God.
yeah, it is not great. I feel horrible for everybody who has to like deal with that. And like it, what makes me sad is that like I've seen people with like severe like endometriosis, and they have got, and like it took one person I saw like 8 years to get pregnant because of it.
Holy shit. Wait,
Yeah,
how does it
it's
impact pregnancy? Do you know at all?
because it like doesn't because your uterus and stuff don't shed the way that it's supposed to. And
Oh.
also like it doesn't like sometimes can't grow back. So like if there's
Oh.
enough, so like if there's like not enough tissue, it like, in your uterus, like there's nowhere for the egg to attach to.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's
There has to be like
terrible.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
fucking.
not a
I
good
don't think I've
experience.
ever heard of that, if I'm being honest. I've heard of what is it? Fuck. Poly ovary syndrome. Poly fuck brain. The one where you get cysts. You get like cysts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of
something like that.
that where it's like it like grows on your like ovaries, and that sounds like fucking painful because I imagine that like having like inside of your body, you're pretty compact with your organs usually. So like when shit starts growing on your organs, it starts like pressing against other things in your body. So like I can't imagine that that's like comfortable. Yeah, I can't imagine that that's comfortable. I've never had like actually that's not true. So the only problems that I've ever had as a woman with like my menstrual cycle is that because of my relative size, for a really long time, I didn't get my period. I got my period super late in life, like super, super late. I think I was like 15 the first time I got my period. Yeah, it was that's not normal, chat. Just so you know, chat, I'm pretty sure the average age is like 12 or 13 or something.
It's like anywhere between like 10 to 13, I think. My little sister actually, she was 9 when she got hers, but I was 13 when I got mine.
Yeah, I think that mine was a combination of I am a very small person, but
Yep.
also on top of that, I was a very competitive athlete. Prior to COVID, and my community knows this, prior to COVID, I was competitive enough in gymnastics that we really thought that I was possibly going to be able to go to like the Olympics. Like I was competing on like national teams. Not to like dox myself in any way, but like I was very, very, very invested. And then COVID happened and a lot of that shut down and I got pregnant. Here we are. But yeah, no, often female athletes or people who may have eating disorders or who fall outside of like normal weight ranges can have problems having regular periods. So that's like a pretty common thing. Moving outside of the uterus, we have the cervix. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. I don't remember what the cervix is for other than just like protection.
That's all it's for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that your cervix is just like the
That's all it's
protective
for.
area between your uterus and your vagina.
For people who get IUDs, that's actually where the IUD sits.
Yes,
It
that
sits
is where
right
it
in
goes in
there.
your cervix. Also, do not beat the cervix. That is bad. Bad Damon. Bad Damon. Do not beat the cervix. That is not look. Look,
That is how
cannot.
you make a woman cry.
Look, I cannot speak
Unless
for
she's into
all
that,
women.
but
I cannot speak for all women. However, I can tell you that like I would not like that. That would be very unpleasant. That would be very, very unpleasant. Yeah, hence I lied to you, chat. I was actually okay. So this is also kind of a discussion for later, but it can kind of be a discussion for now.
I can speak from personal experience. It is not fun
Yeah,
when you hit the
so
cervix.
chat, I want you to understand something. So my Discord earlier was having conversations around like sizing. And yes, I'm talking about dick. What men don't think about a lot of times is that unless you are on like an extreme end of the spectrum, like way too big or way too small, you're probably fine. Like you were probably absolutely fine. I'm not saying
Order Miss Tornado to duty on my face.
I'm not saying that there's not like people with preferences in either direction. However, scientifically, because we are talking about biology right now, scientifically, the average vagina is only about 5 to 6 inches deep. And that is including even after there's like a little bit of expansion due to excitement. If you are packing more than 5 to 6 inches, I'm not saying that you can't put it anywhere, but what I am saying is that you probably should not be putting it all in a girl's vagina. Like, please.
Also, congratulations. You are bigger than average, too.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. I have, tell me if you're with me on this theory, Siren. My theory is that men care at least 10 times more about the size of their dicks than any woman. Would you say that's accurate?
Probably.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm leaning more towards a yes on the probably spectrum,
Yeah.
but yeah.
now look, I have not seen a lot of dicks, but out of all of the dicks that I've seen in real life, there is not a single time that I saw a dick and I was just like, actually, that's not true. That's not true. There's one time I saw a dick and I said, absolutely the fuck not. But it was because it was too much dick and not in the other direction. But like, that was only one time. And I just said definitively no. I said absolutely not. But like, again, I don't have a huge sample size. But men, like, don't worry about it that much. Like, it's not, I don't think that like that is the
Guys, if you
be all,
have a
end
small
all.
dick, you gotta be really good at foreplay. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and we're gonna go over sex, and we're gonna go over, you know, like different aspects of pleasure and stuff. Right now we're in the boring stuff because we're in the biology, but we'll get to talking about it. So this is the internals of the female reproductive system, okay? Yeah. Just because of straightforward masculinity perspectives. Yeah, you like too much. Look, it's also different for like men loving men. You don't have vaginas. Your limits are a little bit different. All right. We have the external aspects of the female reproductive system. So we have the pubic bone. We have the clitoris. It's this tiny, I don't know why they made it so small.
Make sure you tell them where it is, because a lot of guys have a hard time finding it.
Okay, so Saren, are you able to see this chart at all?
Yeah.
I haven't necessarily seen a lot of clitorises. I feel like that's a little bit small. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? That looks like nothing.
I mean, with some women, it can be larger, but for the most part, yeah, it is
looks so
always, it is
tiny.
always,
I'm not saying that
it is
mine's
always at the top.
massive. I'm just saying
It is
this
always
looks
at the top,
small.
guys, okay? It's always at the top.
Yeah, it's always at the
Usually,
top.
it literally feels like a little bean.
True. True. And you know, you just like touch it. Just touch it. Just touch it. It's honest. Oh no, Weenie. That's one of my friends. And she came in when I just have a fucking Hi, Weenie. I feel like every time Weenie comes into my stream, some fuckery is happening. To be fair, I did warn that group chat that I think I warned that group chat that this was what I was doing. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, clitoris at the top, underneath the clitoris, urethral opening. Oh god, you're at work. Don't get in trouble, Weenie. Underneath the clitoris is your urethral opening. For anybody that does not know somehow, women do not pee out of their vaginas. Just throwing that out there in case you did not know, pee does not come out of there. That is not how biology works. So both men and women have urethras. Women and they're internal and they both have openings. This is the women's urethral opening. This is, yeah, we don't have cloacas. Yeah, so that's why we talk about having women have like two holes in the front. You know, you have your urethral opening, very small. Do not put things in it other than like if your doctor is like catheterizing you, and then you have your vaginal opening. Put whatever you want in it as long as you're being safe. Oh, this chart actually has something interesting that we can talk about. This chart is showing a hymen, which I actually didn't think about because I don't ever remember having one. There's a very high chance that I broke mine doing gymnastics. So like the first time I had sex, I did not have like a experience with my hymen breaking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like normal, but that
I
at
think
least
that makes
was
sense.
yeah, that at least was like my experience. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but do you remember your hymen breaking?
I have no idea.
You don't know either. Okay.
No, I mean, I wasn't much younger than you when I lost my virginity, but I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
I think
just
I was
didn't
like
have it.
yeah, I was 17 when I lost my virginity, so
Yeah. I was 16. It's very common that it happens with like girls who are in really like aggressive sports that are aggressive on your like groin area. And both cheer and gymnastics are very aggressive in those areas. Yeah, it's just like tripping and falling. I believe riding a bike. I don't know if I believe that tripping, like, are you falling on your fucking hymen? I don't, chat, like, I don't know about that one, chat. Yeah, I don't know about that one, chat. But with this, we have covered basically the whole vagina. I mean, there's also your labia. That's just your external, like, vagina stuff. But that's not really like functional, other than it helps to protect your internal from bacteria. That's its entire purpose. It is there to kind of hold things together so that it's harder for bacteria to get into your vaginal opening, because things like bacterial vaginosis and UTIs and stuff can be very common already, even with that protection. And so those are just like another layer of protection. Yeah. Chat, before we move on to peeners, questions about lady biology. Question. I cannot guarantee that I can answer them, but I do have Chat GPT, so there is that. Yeah, we do have Chat GPT. I think that I covered everything that I'm qualified for. That's your excuse for not exercising. You don't want to break your hymen. Honestly, unless you're doing like clam slams, I think you're okay. Yeah, I think you're okay. But in gymnastics, they make you do a lot of clam slams. That's what we call when we do anything where we are falling into splits. That's like our affectionate like term for it is clam slams. That is not the term that you use competitively, obviously, but that is like the joke. But if you guys don't have questions, I need to keep this rocking because we have so much to talk about still. Male reproductive system. You guys should know a lot more about this. Most of you haven't. And honestly, I might not know as much about this as you guys. I'm gonna be so fucking real with you. I did a very little bit about I did a very little bit of research about this, but not like a lot. Pour one out for Finn's hymen. Oh my god, you guys. Oh, fuck. Okay, I don't know why they are qualifying the bladder as part of the male reproductive system. Because as far as I know, your pee holder is not anything to do with sex. Am I crazy for that? Like... Is that crazy? I think that's no. Oh god. Okay, you're gonna have to help me with this one, Siren. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me. I'm pretty sure that the vas deferens is the thing. It's like the women's fallopian tubes, right? But it's for men.
I think so, yeah.
Like it's the place
Pretty sure,
where your like sperm goes. Men, please. I mean, men in chat, the like 75% of chat that's male. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that I read that. Yeah, I think that I read that. That is like where that works. I think that's the thing that they cut when you have what is that called? The snip when you don't want to have children anymore.
Vasectomy.
Thank you. Yes, that. I'm pretty sure that that's what they cut when you have a vasectomy. Thank you, Chad. I couldn't fucking think of vasectomies.
You can also get them reversed too.
But if you like cut it, how do you?
I think it's kind of like
cauterize it back together.
I don't think they fully like cut it. They probably do the same thing of what like some like women do, where like they like some doctors, they won't like fully like cut and take out the ovaries and fallopian tubes when they do a hysterectomy. Some doctors will actually just like say if you got like a hysterectomy like right now, right? Obviously with you being young, like that's a very brave choice. But say like when you're like 28 and you are with the person of your dreams and whatever, and you guys want to have a baby, if you had the hysterectomy that just ties your tubes, you can get them untied. So you can still, so then you will have like a period again, and you'll be able to give birth
Oh shit.
and like
Yeah,
all that
I've never
stuff.
considered that because I've basically just been like celibate. I don't know. The only person I've been fucking is me, so like I don't really worry about it right now. Yeah, I don't really worry about it right now. But I do think I would like more children. I love baby clown, but kids are expensive, so I'd have to find like either I need to start making real money or I need to find me a husband that makes real money because I cannot support children. Yeah, I cannot support children. Also, chat was saying that the bladder is part of the reproductive system because unlike women, and this makes sense, unlike women, both semen and pee do come out of the same place. They do come out of the urethra. So that does make sense. Obviously, there is the ejaculatory duct, which is attached to your vas deferens. So you have your ejaculatory duct and then your seminal vesicle, and those help like travel through the vas deferens, and then they go over here. You have your testicles, and I'm gonna be so fucking for real though. I do not remember. I looked this up, but my brain did not retain it. I do not know what an epididymis is. The epidid I epididymis. Yeah, the epididymis. I don't remember what that is, chat. It's probably like not important though, you know? Yeah, it's probably like not important. Uh Also, I like that this is a very realistic like flaccid penis size. He's just like a little guy hanging out there. Yeah, he's just like a little guy hanging out there. So your penis is really just like your fleshy tube. Everything like comes through like all of the tubes in your flesh tube. But like the penis itself, I think is mostly like muscle and fat, right? I'm like fairly certain.
Yeah.
Testicles are the things that break your fall while skating. Oh no.
I order Miss Tornado to duty on my face.
Honestly, I cannot imagine having balls. I think that like they would like just get in the way all of the time. Like men in chat, how inconvenient is it to have balls? Like how inconvenient. Because
My husband has told me that when he did track in high school that because of the shorts that you have to wear when you do
they're really short.
when he did cross country he said that his balls like fell out of his shorts.
That happened to a guy at my school, and they had to because you're underage, they had to it happened as he was like crossing the finish line, and they had to like somebody had to like go up to like the camera person, and like the principal had to like talk to them because they had to like get rid of it. Like it was like, yeah, it was crazy. Also, what the fuck do you mean you can break your penis, chat? There's not a bone in it.
So no, but what can happen is that even though just because the penis is erect doesn't mean it stays hard generally.
I mean, yeah.
So like if it doesn't, if you're like say you're a guy and you're having sex, if you don't go in like straight,
yeah,
like you can bend it, and it's very.
What if
painful.
It's already bent?
I mean, not in that kind of a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fucking awful. Yeah, that sounds fucking awful. I would not even like know what to do. Like when it breaks, does it bruise like a regular break?
Yes.
Like when you break a bone, it like bruises
Yes,
because there's like blood underneath the
it does indeed bruise.
Oh fuck, that's terrifying. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. I guess if you're just like too frisky in bed, like, right? Is that Is that what it is? I'm guessing you're just like too vigorous. 90. Oh my God, 90-degree angle type bend.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Oh my God. What the fuck?
It happens.
That's terrible. Okay, the last thing we've got to talk. If I ever like broke a guy's dick, I would block him on everything, ghost him, and probably become a lesbian. Yeah, that would have to be my like new life trajectory. I've never even kissed a girl, but I think at that point I would just be like, well, time to retire. Time to retire. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's crazy. The last thing we have to talk about in the male reproductive system is the rectum and the prostate. From what I understand, the prostate is just like a little butt button that's like our G spot. It's like the male G spot. So the prostate, I don't know how deep a prostate is. Let me chat GPT this really quick. Oh my God. You don't know that, do you, Siren?
No, I don't.
Okay. Oh God, if my parents take my phone and randomly go through it, and oh, that's not bad. It's only like 2 to 3 inches. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, okay, that's easy. That's easy. Yeah, so like, from what I understand is it's like the male G spot, and you just like tickle it, and it feels good. That's my whole impression of what a prostate is. Is that basically it? I imagine, yeah, if it's only like 2 to 3 inches in, that's almost exactly like a female G spot. And it looks from
The prostate is the male G spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks from the like pictures, like the motion that you would probably make is similar for like hitting it versus hitting the G spot. It looked like, you know, like it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it looks similar. But I also know it's a muscle that holds all of the liquids in. I don't think your prostate holds your liquids in.
Honey button that proves God
Yeah.
evil. Oh my God.
That's actually really
my husband,
funny.
everyone.
I'm
Example
fucking
A of one of the reasons why I married
dying.
him.
Guys go crazy over that fussy. This is my community. Wait, do you say it bussy or bussy?
It's bussy.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely bussy.
Bussy. Femboy bussy. It's different. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I've always said bussy. I don't know why. That's like somebody, the other day I said, Yahweh instead of Yowie. And people were like, why you say it like that? And I'm just like, what do you mean? It's Yahweh. And then they're like, girl. Oh my God. I don't say pussy. No, I don't. Oh my God, I'm fucking laughing. Oh my God, I'm dying fucking laughing. Anyways, chat, that's biology. That took us an hour. We are definitely gonna have to speed this up. All right. What is sexual activity? Chat. This is a very strange moment to show up, yes. So sexual activity. Let's start with self activity. Siren, what do you know about self activity?
a lot of times it can be better than actual sexual activity.
It can. It can. I mean, nobody knows you better than you.
Exactly.
Is kind of like the thing. When it comes to self activity, I really encourage you guys to just explore every aspect of yourself, especially men. I feel like men have like a lot more like mental blocks and kind of like restrictions when it comes to like sexual self activity. You don't just have to like jork it, you know? You don't just have to be jorking it all the time. Like play with your nipples, touch your butt, look for your prostate, like have a little, have a little fun with it. Enjoy yourself. That's kind of yeah, and you don't have to wait on anyone else. I'm pretty sure that like our chat here is going to be very well versed in masturbation. So I don't feel like self activity is necessarily.
I will say this. Masturbation is actually very important for your mental and physical health. Like it is statistically proven
Yeah.
that it is important actually for mental and physical health.
Yeah, it releases endorphins. It releases your like happy chemicals. So if you guys aren't like jerking it, then you should work on that. You should do it. If you don't want to just jerk it though, there is assisted activity. And you might be like, oh, Finn, what's assisted activity? It is literally exactly what it sounds like. I don't know a lot about like men's assisted activity other than like, I don't know. Do people even really use fleshlights still? Is that like a
Yes.
thing? They do. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
I wasn't sure if that was like a thing, but like I know men have like fleshlights. Women have so many options. That's a great thing about being a woman.
I mean, guys, you use like butt plugs and stuff too, but
oh yeah, that's a good point.
you can
I guess
also
I didn't
get
think of that.
you can also get cock rings.
Oh yeah,
Cock
see,
rings
this is
are
why
actually
I need you here.
Cock rings are actually kind of fun, especially like if you use it with a partner.
What
Because
is
you
it
know
really
it
like?
vibrates.
Oh, they vibrate?
Yeah, they vibrate.
What does that do if you're not with a part? Like how how good does that men in the chat?
So
like
so guys will also use like rings to like put around like their dick and their balls to like increase like blood flow, which can also like help with like
oh yeah,
finishing
with like
and that kind of
okay,
stuff.
yeah, they're saying like
Yeah.
ED and stuff. Okay. Yeah, and low key, I'm not gonna lie, I did forget that men also have butts and that they can also use butt plugs. Even though we literally just talked about wait, massage ones also work on men?
Yeah, they can use wands and stuff.
You guys are like actually teaching me things. I am a little bit curious about YouTube. Are you talking about nipple clamps? Or are you like clamping your
Oh, nipple clamps, yeah.
dick?
Nipple clamps can work too.
Well, just as
No,
clamps.
you can put nipple clamps on your actual nipples. Nipple
No,
clamps
I mean,
are not
nipple.
genderless.
Yeah, no, I know
Well,
nipple clamps
nipple clamps are
exist.
genderless, I should say.
Yeah, but I was since it just says clamps, I wasn't sure if there were like non-nipple like clamps for other things. Like what else would you clamp?
I mean, some people find pleasure from doing things that cause pain, but
That's true. That's true. I feel like that'd be a lot of
no judgment, guys.
pain though.
but-
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like that'd be a lot of pain. If you're like clamping your like ball sack or something.
that goes into the kink discussion.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Rubber bands? What the fuck
Oh,
are
my
you doing
lord.
with rubber bands?
They
Are
put
you-
around their
okay.
dicks and balls.
Are you just like wait? Are you just like stacking them on it? Are you seeing Bear?
Your dick turns into a rubber band ball.
Bear, how many rubber bands could you fit on your dick? Yeah, how many? I regret asking that. But like, wait, what? That is diabolical. Wait, you think men don't have nipple sensitivity? Men definitely have nipple sensitivity.
I literally have
Yeah.
a friend in the Not Safe for Work space, and he has nipple clamps.
Yeah, no, men 100% have nipple sensitivity. Yeah. That is restricts blood flow to lads. I don't think you're
Where's
supposed
my
to put
husband?
rubber
Honey, how much am I allowed
bands
to
on
say
it.
about our sex life?
Yeah, I really don't feel like you should be putting rubber bands on your dick. Yeah, I really don't know if I can recommend that. Like, oh my god. When I nut, it smells like I marinated my dick in a swamp and salted it.
Oh my
Oh,
lord.
what is rinse, sir? Please get checked out. Sexual health is important.
Please go wash your dick.
Yeah, please. Oh my god, yeah, please wash your dick. That's insane.
Apparently you don't.
Oh my god. That's fucking funny as shit.
I don't mind how much you say. I was gonna say that like my husband finds pleasure from like when I like rub his chest and stuff. So like
Yeah, I think that's probably
there's
pretty
all
funny.
kinds of
I mean, pretty
things.
common, yeah. I feel like that's pretty common. Even if YouTube
things.
thinks that maybe it's not as common, but I feel like it probably is. Okay, fun stuff. Partnered activity. Now we get to talk about what that means, chat, okay? Now there's very obvious, like when we're talking about partnered activity, there's just sex, like straight up P and B, P and B, like sex. But there's also like so much more to sex than that. And I'm assuming that I don't have to explain like regular ass sex to you guys. I know that's a wild assumption, but I am going to take the assumption that that is not something that we really need to go over. But what we can go over is like what you can do additionally with partners to increase pleasure during sexual activity. So, things could be like the 2 points that we talked about earlier. You can do both self activity with a partner, for example, watching each other, teaching each other, etc., and assisted activity with a partner, using toys in tandem with what you are doing, whether it is, like a butt plug or whether it's a cock ring or like whether it's something to like stimulate your partner's clit while you're fucking them. Like all of these things can come into play during partnered activities, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like there's nothing wrong with using like assists in partnered activity, and it can increase the experience for both of you. Yeah, it can increase the experience for both of you. How do you feel about that, Siren?
I 1000% agree with that. You should never feel bad about involving like anything else that's not just yourself.
Yeah. And then additionally, like Infi is saying, it doesn't like if you are not okay with fully having sex, you do not have to have full sex in order to engage in sexual activity. You can do, like you can use your hands, you can use your mouths. Again, like there's still assisted activity can be assisted yourself or it could be assisted with a partner. Like your partner theoretically could like, I don't know, use like a fleshlight on you or something. Stuff like that. And I think that it's really important to like, I don't know, just be really open when it comes to how you approach sex and how you approach sexual activity. Not everything. Ooh, this is okay. This is actually something that I feel really is important. And I don't know if anybody's going to agree with me. This might be like I don't know if it's going to be like a hot take. Orgasming is not the point of sex. I believe that orgasms are great and they are good for your physical and mental health. And I also believe that it's okay to have sex and sexual activity without orgasming. And I think that when we glorify this idea of orgasming and we make it the ultimate goal of the activity, it puts this pressure and this goal on the activity. And it's this thing that we have to reach. It's this thing that we have to achieve. And I think that it limits us because I think that a lot of times we can be so focused in on that for either ourselves or our partner. Like we're so focused on like the end of the race that like we do not get like to really enjoy the rest of the part of like racing. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. How do you feel, Siren? Like what? I know that's low-key kind of a hot take.
That definitely is a take.
Like
That definitely is a take.
I know.
I don't agree with your take, but I'm sure there probably are some people who do. Like, yes, sex isn't just about like the big end, right?
Yeah.
Because sex can also be much more or much less than that, depending on the relationship that you have with the person that you are doing it with.
Yeah.
So like for it's like my relationship, to us, we feel a lot closer every time we have sex. So it's more like it's not even like it's more like a romantic thing, even if it's not like even though it is a lot more than just like romance. You know, it's the and then like sometimes sex will mean like absolutely nothing to somebody, like, you know, so it definitely varies from person to person, but
and we're going to talk about that a little bit in our next section a little. I'm going to click us over. Okay, considerations in sexual activity. Consent. Consent is important and it's multifaceted because consent is continuous. Consent is not one yes and you have sex. Consent can be revoked at any time in the process, and that's perfectly acceptable and needs to be understood, respected, and taken seriously. Consent seems boring, but it doesn't have to be boring. Because think about it, this is kind of like how I think about it. Is like with consent, if I'm having sex with somebody, if I'm engaging in sexual activity with somebody, if I do not have an enthusiastic yes, if I am not like, if they are not like, hell yeah, the whole time, I'm not into it. Like, I need somebody who is there and constantly consenting and constantly like reaffirming that. And I think that part of that is like the desire aspect. Like for me, I am somebody who really wants like that enthusiastic consent personally. What is your like, how do you feel about consent? I'm sure we probably agree. Like, consent is just a clear boundary and can be,
Yes.
you know, given and taken at any time.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. There's
Absolutely.
also, yeah, there's also, there
I
are
tell
times.
my husband no all the time. And you know what? He respects that when I say no. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't, and like, it goes vice versa too. Like, there was a time where my sex drive was a lot higher than his. And I'm just like, hey, I want to fuck. And then he'd be like, oh, I don't want to right now. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really
Just
hard
because
when
we're
you have a
married doesn't
partner.
mean
Yeah.
it's always a yes.
Like with a lot of times relationships and marriages and stuff, people think that there is like implied consent, and I think that it really depends on your relationship dynamics. But consent is essential, and consent is, yeah, like I suckle VTuber P to say. What a fucking name. Yeah, the consent is sexy. What isn't sexy though is getting STIs. That is a consideration that you always have to have when engaging in sexual activity, is the chance that you could be transmitting or you could be receiving the transmission of an STI. That is something that is always a risk. And if you were sexually active, especially if you were sexually active with multiple partners, getting tested is imperative. Like, do not fuck around with this. This can, like, STIs can range from like mildly inconveniencing you to like literally ending your life. So, disease is something that
Infection and
is.
disease are two different things.
Oh, yeah.
STIs and STDs, even though they sound
Oh.
similar, they are very different. Infections can go away. Diseases you're stuck with your whole life, like AIDS.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember the difference.
Yep.
But
So
transmission is
something,
mostly the same, right?
yes. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it is
Okay.
still the same thing. It is sexually transmitted, whether it's through oral, vaginal, or anal
Yeah.
sex with like anybody. Um, and then the difference is like a disease, like that is something that that person either was born with, because you can be born with AIDS.
Wait, really?
Yes. Yeah.
That
If
fucking
you,
sucks. What
yeah.
the
So it, like if
hell?
your mother had AIDS, there is a very high chance that you could also have AIDS like after you're born,
I feel like I did
because your
not learn
mother
that
could
in school.
yeah, because that can be transferred to the baby like during birth.
That's
Um
crazy. Yeah, I don't remember learning
and
about that
then
at all.
yeah. And then there AIDS is also something that's also found very common in the male to male gay community as well. One of the greatest rock legends ever, died from AIDS. The
Oh,
lead
I didn't
singer
know
of
that.
Queen.
Oh
Yep, the
shit.
lead singer of Queen.
That's the Bohemian Rhapsody people,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yep. He died of AIDS.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
it like
then
isn't it like a misrepresentation though to say that it disproportionately affects that community, or is that correct? Is like
I mean, I feel like AIDS is probably more common, but it's definitely like it's something that was like that's like hush hush, but always also like talked about a lot. Like it's very
okay.
like hit or miss. But then the difference with like an STI, which is just an infection, is something like chlamydia. That's probably one of the most common STIs. I know I myself have gotten chlamydia from a partner
Oh
before.
no.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it was not fun in the slightest. And that kind of stuff can be fixed with like antibiotics, like a normal like infection. Um
Yeah.
So like, and then like something like that can also, come from oral, vaginal, or anal sex as well.
Yeah.
And it can transfer from partner to partner to partner. So like when I went to Planned Parenthood and got a test, I always profiled, like tested every partner that I've been with.
Yeah.
First question was always, have you been tested within the last 4 to 6 weeks? And then if it's a yes, I ask if it came back positive or negative for anything.
Smart. Yeah.
Always ask them if using protection, because sometimes some people prefer not to use a condom, but even though I'm on birth control, can still get pregnant. Because birth control is not always the only thing that is 100% birth proof, guys, is not having sex.
Yeah. Or anal sex.
I mean, if the cum drips from your ass to your vagina, there's
Really? You think that
a
could
chance.
happen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You underestimate the determination of sperm.
That's crazy work. Oh my gosh.
You underestimate the determination of sperm. But yeah. And so like when I got it, I had to go and I also asked them like my number one question, which would guarantee if I like had sex with them or not, was if they were okay with me getting an abortion if I got pregnant. If they said no, then that would be like, if they said no, then we just would not have sex, because I don't. There is the small chance, that it could happen.
Smart. I never thought of that when having sex, which is brings us to our next point, which I know a lot about. Hi, I'm Finley. I'm a teen mom. If you did not know this already, surprise! Surprise! Yeah, I call him Baby Clown. He is actually going to be 1 year old in 4 days. And I was a teen statistic. Yeah, I was a teen statistic. So this is the other side of not using protection. Is not only is there like issues with disease, but obviously, and I don't want to say there's like issues with pregnancy, because I feel like that's a little bit of an aggressive stance to take on the idea of pregnancy. But risk is probably the correct word. Is like there is always a risk of pregnancy. And I don't want to say like very clearly not trying for that. But I don't think that anybody at my age is necessarily like that's their like end goal. Yeah, but I fucked around and found out, and now I am a single teen mom. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to pregnancy. One of the things is that pregnancy is not 9 months. Pregnancy is actually 40 weeks, which is closer to like 10 months. If you have a full-term pregnancy, technically a full term is like 37 to 40 weeks. But like 40 is what they want you to get to ideally. And so
and it can take anywhere between 1 day to 4 weeks for the sperm to actually reach the egg too.
Yes, that too.
Because I was an oops baby. I was conceived on New Year's Eve, and my birthday is in October. So
Oh
do
shit.
the math.
Yeah. My mom was also a teen mom. My mom's 36. So we, have that in common. Luckily, I have a really good support system at home, but pregnancy is always a risk when having sex. Make sure that you and your partners discuss it, whether it's a discussion like Siren said, where for her it was really imperative that people understood that if this situation came up, that she had already made up her mind on what her actions would be, or whether you talk to your partner about like what would happen if it if like it does happen. I'm not gonna touch heavily on this. My community already knows about it. But baby clown's dad did not live long enough to find out about baby clown. So I never had to have that conversation. I only had to have the conversation with my parents. And as a like family,
Yeah, she killed him.
oh God, no. As a family, we decided that we had the support structure. My parents had actually been talking about maybe having another kid. Anyways, even though they're like kind of old. No, I shouldn't say that. My audience is old. I shouldn't say that. My mom's only 36. She's not like that old, but like it's like
my mother was 36 when she had me, and my father was 4. No. Oh wait, no. My mom was 36.
Yeah.
No, 38 when my little sister was born, and my dad was in his mid 40s when she was born.
Holy
so
shit. Yeah.
It's never too late.
But yeah, so basically, instead of doing that, they have baby clown. That's what happened. They're like, oh yeah, now we don't have to do it. But yeah, so pregnancy always a consideration. Chat, honestly, don't worry. A lot of my chat is about the age of my parents. So if you guys feel like you're like alone in that, you are not. I accidentally wound up dad maxing. Like I never intended to dad max, but I gained a community in my community. I was like, oh, like what should I get into? What should I watch? And so I started watching like gun videos and doing Warhammer videos. And what is the normal person who likes those things? Well, the answer to that is like 30 to 40-year-old men. So now I have a bunch of like 30 to 40-year-old men in my Discord that talk about guns and stuff all the time. And I love it. My community is awesome. Yeah. So it's great. The last thing to consider with sexual activity is connection. And
I order Miss Tornado to duty on my face.
I think that this is like nuanced because connection during sexual activity can really range, obviously, from casual hookups to, completely like monogamous, deep relationships. But the fact of the matter is that no matter who you're having sex with, there is that like connection that you were having in that moment together. And I think that it's like important to talk about, and I think that it's important to acknowledge. What I would like to personally dismiss though is there is this very bad idea circulating online in certain spaces, and this idea is only perpetuated towards women's ability to connect. but there is this idea that is circulating in certain spaces online that say that women only have the ability to deeply connect with one sexual partner. And that is not true. I might not be the authority on this, considering my age and relative experience, but it is a misogynistic take that has been recently discussed in certain circles on the internet. Siren, obviously you agree with me here. What are your thoughts on that take that, like, specifically women, this has like nothing to do with men, but like specifically women have an inability to connect with multiple sexual partners?
I think that's fucked, for one, if that is like what their take is. Because like also like the world isn't built around just monogamous relationships. The US is actually one of the like higher like countries that wants to promote strictly just monogamous relationships, because polyamory is practiced like around the world in
Is it
like
really?
many different countries and cultures.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't fuck with that, but I think it's just because I have a hard time understanding it, and I'm also incredibly jealous. Yeah, so I don't fuck with that at all, but I do disagree with the idea that like
and that's 1,000% you. Like I am happily married. I am in a monogamous relationship with my husband. I could never be with somebody else. If I have another connection with somebody else, then there's something really, really wrong happening in my point of view. But there are people who have, those open relationships.
Yeah.
And like they are actual like open relationships. Like nobody is like cheating on anybody because it is all consensual. And that is like the whole thing with like poly relationships, is that it's built around like trust and communication. That is like the biggest thing.
Even though like I don't get it, I think that comes from a place of like experience.
Yes.
Like I feel
I have lots of friends who are polyamorous, and they have multiple connections with multiple people, and it's just like, oh, good for you.
Yeah, I've never had, and again, like I'm 19, so it's a little bit different. And I've had friends who've like tried to explore that, and it has never worked out for like a consistent amount of time from what I have noticed. Like, but again, I don't know how much of that is like age related versus like related to the dynamics of that kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I understand. Like I tell chat all of the time that like because of being young, I'm like both stupid enough and smart enough to understand that I'm too stupid to know certain things yet. Like I understand that I don't have a fully developed brain yet, and so for me, like trying to form like my core beliefs at this age, I feel like I'm still learning and I'm still developing, and so I don't have that like solid set of like thoughts on beliefs and certain things. And so like this is like one of those things is where I'm like, yeah, I couldn't do it and I don't really understand it, and I don't really understand how it like can be sustainable. But if it makes you happy and you guys are all like healthy and happy with what you're doing, then by like all means, dude, like by all fucking means. My parents are huge nerds and we spent a lot of time together. And they actually referenced polyamory in the most recent Rick and Morty episode. And it was really cute and funny because they like convinced his grandpa to like be okay with his granddaughter, or maybe it was his daughter and he just looked old, but they like convinced him to be like okay with his daughter, um like having multiple partners and stuff. And at the end of it he was just like, you know, my real problem isn't that you have all these partners, you know, it's not that you have 7 partners, it's that you have 7 people now who could like break your heart. And I thought that was really like sweet, even though it's like a stupid ass show. I was like, "Aw." It was like, "Aw." Anyways, so we have covered considerations with sexual activity. This is where I'm going to give you guys, I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna break for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna check on Baby Clown and grab another water. This is the time to take a break and leave if you do not want to talk about sexual abuse. Siren and I talked about this last night. We cannot, in good faith and good conscience, have talk about sexual education without addressing sexual abuse. And so I'm going to give everybody a chance, a couple of minutes to step out, and I will be back and we will start covering that. I'm not going to be talking necessarily in depth. I don't have any personal experience with it, but we are going to be covering some statistics about it and just talking about it. So giving you guys a couple minutes. All right, chat. That was your moment to leave before the hard stuff. Yeah, that was your moment to leave before the hard stuff. But we are gonna talk statistics now. We're gonna talk about sexual violence and sexual abuse. I would like to address the fact that obviously these are only reported statistics and these are focused on the United States. That is where we live, at least, and where a lot of my audience lives. And so while it's important to note that obviously not everybody who is put in these positions is going to feel comfortable reporting, that these are still numbers from people who do report. And so in the United States, 1 in 5 women has experienced either completed or attempted rape in their lifetime. So like, let's just like, there's what? How many people in the United States? Let's just stratify. Is that the right word? Is that stratify? I feel like that's the right word. Let's multiply. There's 342.6 million people in the United States. So like, what does that mean for this statistic? What that means for this statistic is that about 82 million women in the United States have experienced either completed or attempted rape in their lifetime. That's horrifying. Like, that's obviously a really tragic statistic. And that's not okay. But what we cannot neglect is that about a quarter of men in the United States have also experienced some form of sexual violence in their lifetime as well. And again, these are reported numbers. Yeah, these are just the reported numbers. Now, nationwide, 81% of women and 43% of men have reported experiencing some form of sexual harassment and or assault in their lifetime here in the United States. And 1 in 3 women, that's a crazy stat. 1 in 3 is crazy. 1 in 3 women have experienced completed or attempted rape between the ages of 11 and 17. So we're going to revise this. I can't revise this on this website. This is not women. This is girls. This is children. So let's just correct this. That is saying that 1 in 3 children, and this is only reported, chat. So you have to remember that the actual numbers are very likely higher than this. But and let's go back here again and let's compare this. So 1 in 5 women across their entire lifetime experience completed or attempted rape, but 1 in 3 that happens between the ages of 11 and 17. 1 in 3 children, 1 in 3 female children. That's terrifying. I want you to think about this. I want you to consider all of the women that you know in your life, okay? I don't know how many women in your life are in your life chat, whether you have just your mom, your grandma, your sisters, cousins, your friends. The odds that somebody that you know that has experienced attempted or completed rape is very, very high. And like, I want to be incredibly intentional, incredibly serious about that. And I want us to like sit here for a minute and just like absorb that. Like just think about all of the women that you know in your life and men. So I don't want to glance over this on men either. But about 43% of men have also reported experiencing some kind of sexual harassment or assault in their lifetime. And I don't want you to think that I'm not serious about it, but this is way more common than you think. This is way more serious and way more pervasive in our society than you think it is. Like, this is a really big problem, specifically in the United States, but I'm sure that it's also a really big problem all over the world. Now, continuing, about 1 in 4 male victims of completed or attempted rape are boys. They are not men. I really hate that this says men, because 11 to 17 is a child. Yeah, no, Bear, that's a really, really good point, and that's something that we're going to touch on. Men have a way lower reporting rate than women, and that's because culturally, and I'm here to tell you that that's not okay. That's because culturally, men are told to take in and absorb a lot more emotionally and like culturally than women are. And there's also this like heavy perspective of, well, we don't talk about it. Or there's a heavy perspective around this concept of like MILFs or cougars, even from a young age. But the fact of the matter is that cougars are women who like younger men. Cougars are not women who like children. Women who like children are predators, just like men who like children are predators, and we need to call them as they are. So there's this like idea culturally, you know, that we've been fed for a really long time that like older women and younger men is not as inappropriate. If you were a child, it is inappropriate no matter what. Like, and I need you guys to understand that. Like, there is this really big, like, stereotype that men cannot face sexual assault because men are always welcoming of sexual advances, and that is not true. We talked about consent earlier and the importance of consent, and that is still always really, really important. Here's the number that I crunched earlier, I guess, is that about 734,630 people were raped in the US just in 2018. In that year alone, those were the reported rapes only in 2018. That's diabolical. Like, that is not okay. Now, we're going to talk about reporting here. So 40% of rapes and sexual assaults were reported to police. I don't know how they get, I'm going to be so honest. I don't know how they get these sources. I can click sources and it says that there's criminal victimization sources here. But it does say that only about 25% were. So reporting rates are going down, apparently, according to these statistics. Additionally, there's also this idea of prevalence of false reports. Now, I'm not going to say that false reports are non-existent, but I do think that it's something that's talked about a lot and framed in a way to invalidate people's experience who have faced this. I think that while it is important to gather whatever you can evidence-wise to support things, that there is such a thing as later reports, and there's not always evidence, especially for men. For women, rape kits are a lot different and a lot easier and a lot more accessible for things like that, but for men it's not the same. And so while I would never say that false reports don't happen, personally, my first instinct, if a friend were to come to me and talk to me about this issue and tell me that this was something experienced, my first instinct would not be to ask them, you know, like, okay, but like, can you prove it? That's not, as somebody who is empathetic, as somebody who wants to be there for people, that would not be my first instinct. Yeah, so continuing on, about 50% of this happens by an intimate partner, by somebody that you already know. And additionally from that, about 40% is done by an acquaintance, which really between these two only leaves about 8% of people. 8% of people that are random statistics. 8% of people who are sexually abused by somebody that they don't know. So that's difficult. That's really difficult when considering trust with people. And then finally, over half of male victims report being raped by an acquaintance, and about 15% by a stranger. And in terms of what people need for resources post sexual abuse, the estimated lifetime cost of rape is about $122,461. And you might be like, well, what does that include? So a lot of times that includes obviously things like therapy. But additionally, for women at least, I don't know if this is for men, but for women at least, there's actually a higher percentage of women who see issues with their like pelvic floor and with other like women's health issues that are associated with their reproductive system, like PCOS and probably like endometriosis, due to things like abuse. Like I know that there is a higher percentage. Like let me look this up. I promise I'm not talking out of my ass. Let me look this up really quick. Also, Siren, while I'm looking this up, you can say whatever you would like about this entire situation.
Yeah. There's actually one of the newest documentaries I actually watched on Netflix actually was about a serial rapist in like Spain or something, where he would get like transfer American girls, like he would take them out and think and like act like a tour guide, and he would take them out for a night, and like they would all get really drunk, and then he would take advantage of them and then never contact them again like after.
That's crazy.
It was insane. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a really good watch if you want like the information about like different stuff like that, and how like, you know, that doesn't just become a domestic thing, that becomes something that involved like the FBI and like whatnot, because it was international.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So, okay. So, something that I was thinking of that I did find statistics on is that, so this is actually really fucked from what you told me about endometriosis. There's a 79% increased risk of endometriosis for women who report severe and chronic sexual abuse.
Yep.
79% is diabolical. Like that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But we've faced this heavy topic, guys. I want you guys to know that this is incredibly serious, that this was something that we had discussed together and decided that it was an important topic to include here. But we are going to move on to some of the fun stuff. And this is a little bit more And no, endometriosis is not cysts in the uterus. Endometriosis is, oh fuck, you were explaining it. It's my brain.
An autoimmune disease.
It's an autoimmune disease. It is in the uterus, but it's not cysts. Cysts
Nope.
are you're probably
It causes
thinking
your
of
period.
polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is
It
in
causes,
ovaries.
yeah, endometriosis causes like extreme pain in like your lower abdominal section where like your entire like uterus and fallopian tubes and stuff are. So when you have your period, when you shed the tissue on the inside, it feels a lot more painful than it should.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, chat.
You can also bleed a lot heavier too.
I'm gonna leave you just for a second with Siren. I have Coco who needs to go outside. I can't take her outside right now, but I'm gonna let her out of my room at least. So give me a second. Siren, do as you will with my chat. I trust you.
Hello, chat. Are you guys enjoying the stream? That's good. Y'all seem super cool. Informative. I love that. Been locked in. Love that. Needed a good refresher. Oh, geez. I mean, that's good. I do believe there isn't much left.
Yeah, there's not much left
a lot
because
of
we
this.
need to eat dinner. I'm fucking starved, Loki. Okay, so I am taking a little bit of a backseat on this one. Just
Has
because.
erectile dysfunction been discussed at all? No,
Yeah.
I don't think we did. We
Yeah,
touch
we
on
talked
that?
about it. We talked about it when we were talking.
Oh, yeah.
About somebody mentioned it when we were talking about sex toys, and so we talked about it a little bit. I am not as well versed about men, if I'm being honest. I know
Erectile
that
dysfunction is when it is harder for
yeah,
men
you
to
just
get
can't keep an
erect.
erection. Yeah.
And it is perfectly normal and also can be caused by medication, especially antidepressants. That is actually like low sex
Yeah.
drive and erectile dysfunction is actually one of the like most common side effects to like antidepressants and stuff.
Yeah, I've been on antidepressants for like fucking ever, and I swear to God, I have to like.
Do you have to hype yourself up to have sex?
No, I was gonna say I have to be like going at it with myself for at least 30 minutes before I can come. I have such a hard time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, I think it's happening, and then I'm like, fuck, and then I'm like, oh, I think it's happening, and then I'm like, fuck. Yeah, that's
Having it normally also like is not like a terrible thing either. You just got to find like the right partner that's totally like okay with it. Like my husband was on a lot of medication that would cause him to get soft in the middle of sex, and he would always feel bad, and it's just like, honey, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, but antidepressants do that, and
because you can do more than just sex with
yeah.
your dick, right?
You don't need a dick to have sex. But we are moving on to sexuality and exploration. I think that what sexuality is has really changed over the years. And I do not know that I can necessarily define it. From my understanding, it is your sexual attraction
Order Miss Tornado
towards
to duty on my face.
other, I can't even really say other genders, because sometimes, from my understanding, sexuality transcends that.
So
This is where I backseat. This is more siren. But from my understanding, sexuality is your ability to be sexually attracted to people. Tragically, I am only sexually attracted to men.
tragically.
Tragically.
So this kind of like also like ties in with like the whole gender versus sex like topic stuff too.
I'm gonna be so
Um
fucking real. I do not understand the difference, so I'm gonna shut up and listen.
so sex is what you are assigned it at birth, right? Whether the doctor says you are male or female, but gender is what you believe that you feel like you are. That's where the whole like non-binary and like transgender like community. Oh, cat. I'm sorry. My
Yeah.
cat just knocked something over. But that's where like they fall into place because they feel like they are not comfortable with what they were assigned with because to them it doesn't feel like them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, it doesn't make sense because I can't experience it, I guess, but like I can still be, I guess, like respectful and understanding of how difficult that can probably be. That's like, yeah, when I always feel like bad talking about these things because coming from, oh, my chat knows I'm from California. Coming from California, people expect you to be like surrounded by specific types of people. And where I am, it's not like there's like no gay people here. There's tons of gay people here. But like I just didn't really grow up with that representation in my like friend group or like my parents' friend group, or there's like nobody openly in my family that's gay or anything. And so, like, my understanding of it is very limited just because it's like hard to understand things that like you don't experience. If that does that make like any sense?
Yeah. It's hard that kind of like unironically also goes with like trying to learn like a new language. If you're not surrounded by it or being involved in or like actively being involved in it, it is definitely harder for you or like other people to like understand something. And that is totally okay because like where the problem with like people who are not accepting are like the people who refuse to learn and understand. You in order to like want to understand, you have to be willing to like learn and be accepting. That is like the
Yeah.
hardest part for people.
Yeah, like I would never like if one of my friends, I mean like a large portion of my community, I think I mentioned earlier, a large portion of my community is you know, in the like LGBT space, which is awesome because most of my community is men. And they're very like open about it and they talk about it and I think that's really cool and I like learn things. But it's just like again, like while there was representation, say at like my school, there were like kids that were like out and stuff. We just didn't interact a ton because so remember I was a COVID kid. COVID hit for me in 8th grade, I think, 7th or 8th grade. And so I was thrown into online school. And then when school resumed, like in person after a while, I don't know, things are just like different. Yeah, things are just like different and how people interact is just like different. And on top of that, because I was so engaged in other activities like gymnastics and cheer and stuff, I just didn't have a lot of, like, I guess, time to have friend groups outside of that. And so I just didn't like have that experience. I do think that like sexuality is something people have told me before, that sexuality is like fluid, which I can kind of understand, because like maybe sometimes you're just like oh god, I can tell you, I've told my chat this, but I haven't told you this, and this is a really funny story. Okay. When I was in like middle school, I went to my mom crying because all I saw were like these 10 baddies, these beautiful women all over California. There's so many beautiful women in California, like holy shit. If you want body dysmorphia, if you want to feel bad about yourself, move to California. Dead ass. There's just so many beautiful women in California, and they like, I would see them out with like medium ugly men. And in middle school, I had a like mental breakdown. I have moderate autism, and I like absolutely had a freak out, and I asked my mom if like I was just doomed to marry a medium ugly man. If that was just like what women did. Like I had a full on crash out, like asking her if like that was just my fate. And so for a while my family thought that I was gonna be gay. Because apparently that's like a really gay thought. But but I'm not, sadly. But yeah, so like I can understand that sexuality is like always, I guess, shifting kind of like, and our understanding of it. I think that like depending on where you live, things are definitely getting better. But this is where you have a little bit more information as somebody who's like in the community. Like, do you feel like representation and acceptance is getting better for people inside of that like bubble?
I believe it was. Not to bring up politics or anything like that, but because politics shouldn't. My belief is that politics shouldn't be involved in the LGBT community, but unfortunately is. Under our current administration, I think it has become a lot harder.
Oh shit.
Um,
That like makes sense, but I didn't think about it since I don't have to.
Our current administration has actively tried to actually is trying to like remotely like ban what Obama did for us when he was president, which Obama was the one who legalized gay marriage like across the entire country, or same-sex marriage.
Oh shit, I forgot that didn't happen until Obama.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And the current administration is actually trying to overturn that, kind of like how they also like, this goes back into the previous conversations that we were just talking about, how they literally overturned Roe v. Wade, which is
Wait, really?
more stuff. Yep.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I didn't even know that.
Yep. Which is more stuff about sexual assault and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Which is why a lot of women are actually dying from miscarriages, because doctors now legally cannot like help people.
Wait, like everywhere in the United States now?
No, not everywhere.
Oh, okay.
But it's becoming legalized in like some states, like
oh fuck, I didn't know that.
Like in Texas, it's illegal to have an abortion, regardless of whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
There have been multiple women who literally go into sepsis because they can't
oh my god
get an abortion. Yeah, it's terrible.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I
but
didn't
the
think
same
about that.
thing
I
is
think Obama was the
yeah.
president when I was born. So I didn't realize that like gay marriage is like only as old
I
as
remember
me.
watching him on TV for his first term when he got
I'm pretty sure he was the
indicted.
president when I was born. I'm pretty sure. I
Um,
think he's like he's like the first one. I don't even really like remember him very much, but like I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
um,
2007. Yeah.
but yeah, so our current administration is trying to basically overturn like all that stuff.
Well, he was
With
born during the
like
Bush administration, apparently.
um so there are actually now multiple states that are trying to ban same-sex marriage and whatnot now.
That's crazy.
Unfortunately, it's a lot of like um the like, you know, more red states than others, but yeah, so it was getting easier. I will say it was getting easier
Yeah.
up until our current administration.
I
I've actually
literally didn't even
seen
realize that.
yeah, I've actually seen a lot of like articles and like stuff because I'm a boomer and I use Facebook. I've seen a lot
I
of
remember
stuff
you
on
telling me that, and I was just like, who uses Facebook? I don't think I've ever even had a Facebook account.
um but I've seen a lot of things that have like talked about how a lot of people are actually going back into the closet and like hiding their true selves because
Oh,
they're afraid
wow.
of what like the current administration is going to do.
That's
Like I
crazy.
remember his first term, which was, you know, like 9 years ago now, when he was elected and it was announced that he won. I kid you not, I remember the cries and wails of like my neighbors in my dorm building. Like I could hear multiple people like crying in their rooms, like from in the hallway
Oh,
when it got
wow.
announced, because a lot of like the people, because I went to a liberal arts college, so like there's a
I have a dumb
lot of
question. What does that mean? Does that mean they only teach? I don't know what liberal arts are.
liberal arts is
I didn't go to
if you
college,
a lot of people a
so
lot of people describe it as like liberal arts schools are kind of like the hippie schools. They're like um the left wing like
I didn't
kind
know
of
colleges could
like
have political
things.
affiliations.
Yeah, it's yeah. But so they so like a lot of like the especially with the building that I lived in a co-ed. I lived in like a co-ed building, so like the rooms were co-ed. Because like
Oh.
I had a roommate who was trans. That's because I didn't care, but usually they
Yeah.
try to put like people of the same like gender in the same room. So like because my roommate identified as they identified as non-binary at the time. But since
Okay.
their sex was also female, they put us in a room together.
I have a
Because
really
I
stupid
personally didn't care.
question.
Yeah.
Non-binary means neither, right? Like you don't
Yes, they don't identify
associate
as
either way, right?
yes. So those are the people that prefer to go by they them pronouns when you talk
Okay.
to them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I always just forget because there's also people who interchange pronouns, but I don't remember what that's called.
There are some people kind of like my roommate they are non-binary but also are male presenting. So like my roommate, he prefers either they them or he him pronouns. They can go either or. He does not want to be associated with feminine sounding pronouns. There's like stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. think I understand. It's such like I always feel so stupid asking questions because like I said,
No,
like living
always ask questions. No question
yeah.
is a stupid question.
Everybody just like
If you
again
genuinely don't
assumes.
like understand something, how are you going to understand it if you don't ask?
Yeah, honestly, I've tried like chat GPTing this because I have a friend who went away to college and I haven't like she's on a summer like semester abroad thing, so I haven't even seen her since then. But she now told me that she identifies as a gender fluid, non-binary lesbian.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just said okay.
So gender fluid is where they feel like they flow between the two genders, so they can be femme or masculine.
Okay, I mean that makes sense then, but is that not conflicting with
No, gender fluid is
non-binary?
nope.
Okay.
Non-binary is that they don't identify as either, but gender fluid will identify as one or the other depending on like their situation. Their gender fluidness is kind of a little more of like a gray touchy area because it depends on like the person. There's no cookie cutter thing when it comes to people who are gender fluid. People who are gender fluid, they just those are the people that will dress up as like femme or masc people, and then they will usually tell you like what their pronouns are.
My
or
last
like
question though is like lesbian is woman for woman.
Mhm.
But if you are not
So
do
my
you
so my
kind of
guess
understand my
yes.
confusion? Okay,
So
okay.
my guess would be that your friend who came out as gender fluid, their assigned sex at birth was female.
Yeah.
And so they are also attracted to women.
I understand the lesbian part.
That is all that is.
Problem.
It doesn't matter if like they it doesn't matter if like they want to be like masculine or not. So
Yeah.
that is the like term like lesbians is just like you think of like two people who have like female features. So like it's gonna be like two people who have vaginas. But
Okay.
also lesbianism could also be like two female transgendered people who are male to female like transitioning. So those two would
Oh, I didn't think
technically
about
be
that.
lesbians. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I feel still confused, but like
Lesbians
slightly less
are femme
confused.
are femme identifying people who prefer femme identifying people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well,
That way we take like the whole like gender thing like out. The whole gender and like sex
yeah.
thing out.
I'm gonna switch this over to kink and informed consent because I'm gonna try to wrap this by 6:30. Okay. We've already discussed consent and how consent is ongoing. However, when it comes to kink, it can be safely blurred depending on the situation. So earlier we talked about how in vanilla relationships, that consent and informed consent is not always like okay, how consent needs to be repetitive, it needs to be enthusiastic. When it comes to kink, sometimes informed consent is the like how do I put this? Like the norm. So in my experiences and how I got pregnant is that I was in a informed consent couple that was interested in consensual non-consent meaning that implied and informed consent is what we use, and that we did not have enthusiastic consent every time. And this is probably crazy when you think about the fact that I was a teenager. But like, look, I'm a Zoomer with unfiltered internet access since I was a child. And I've been on like Reddit and 4chan. You can't like, it's not my fault, okay? It's not my fault. But when we bring like kink into it, you know, you want things to be like safe, sane, and consensual, but consent can change depending on the situation. Yeah, so that's like a little bit of my experience with that. But in general, I mean, kink is a really wide umbrella term for lots and lots of things. Everything from something I made fun of the other day, because I give my I give my Discord a play-by-play of my thoughts while watching Love Island every night, even though they could literally care less. One of my things the other night is I was just like, this couple was talking about how they wanted to like be blindfolded, and they're like, ooh, kinky. And I'm just like, it's just a blindfold. Like in my opinion and my experience, that is like at best kink light. Like that is not that is like borderline vanilla. But I understand that obviously there's like different levels of kink for everything, and not everybody is a puppy girl with a crate that she likes to sleep in sometimes.
This is a good time to go to the BDSM test
Oh,
website right now.
Yeah, go take your BDSM test.
I take one every year, and it actually changes.
Oh,
which
I was
is
gonna ask,
hilarious.
does it ever change?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, wow. I think I've taken it twice and it's been the same. But I'm also, again, like relatively inexperienced and relatively young. So I don't know if that's, I don't know how much impact that has with it. Get it? Impact? Haha. Uh-huh. Hee hee haha. Yeah, I am very much on the sub leaning pet play side of kink. Siren, are you comfortable sharing where you are? You do not have to.
I like to
just
say that I am a bottom, like through and through.
Okay.
So,
Bottom, but not a sub. 'Cause
no,
I know
I'm a
there's
brat.
difference.
Actually,
Me too.
I'm a brat.
Me too. Oh my god, yeah, me too.
I love so I
Defiance is
love
great.
I love to tease.
Yeah,
And I like to say no. I like to not make
yes.
eye contact and like not give like direct answers.
Yes.
So like, because to me, especially if I'm with somebody who is very dominant,
Yeah.
that I get so as being a brat, because my personality naturally is just brat. Like I am like that, like IRL online, like that is just my personality too.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a sexual thing, but when it does come to the sexual stuff, like things that excite me are when my partner, who is being like the dominant person in the
Yeah.
relationship, gets like visibly frustrated. Like
Yes,
that
yes,
excites me.
yes. It's so good. It's so funny.
I get
It's so
excited.
funny. Yeah, no, it's so funny. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, no, I really
But
like that.
I'm also a brat who has a praise kink. So
Oh, I am on
though
the opposite spectrum.
when somebody they like I have like a good girl redeem in like my on like my for like my Twitch alerts.
Yeah,
Um it I think it's like Alistair from like Has Been Hotel saying good girl or something. And I
funny.
literally
Okay.
have like a little halo and like angel wings
That's
and
really
stuff like
cute.
pop up
Yeah.
around me. Like it's so funny.
Yeah,
Um
that's really cute. Yeah, no, I am I have a really hard time taking I think that it's being somebody who is very seriously and competitively athletic. Um and gymnastics is incredibly strict. So like positive feedback was not common. Like it is not commonplace. There is always something that you did to receive a deduction, and there is something that can always be better. So I have a very, very hard time receiving compliments, receiving praise, receiving any kind of positive feedback because my brain is kind of like hardwired to believe that there like has to be something wrong. However, I am totally open to being degraded within obviously like specific boundaries,
yeah.
but like totally. I would much rather be called like names than be like called like
I order
I don't
Miss
know, like a
Tornado
good
to
girl or
duty
like
on
any of
my
that just
face.
because it like I don't know. My brain is like, oh, like why? Like why would I deserve that? Like what did I do to deserve that? Like why is this person saying that? Like what I did wasn't even that good or like I don't know. I just have like a weird spicy brain with that. So like for me, it's much easier for me to accept the negative. And I know that that's like I'm already in therapy, chat, okay? I'm already in therapy. So I know that that's like bad, but it's something that's just like a lot easier for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot easier for me. But I am actually my parents just let me know dinner is ready. And it is also fucking boiling in my bedroom because my PC's been on. So I'm gonna let you tell everybody who you are, where they can find you one more time. Oh,
Hi chat.
and then we're just gonna rate out. Yeah. Tell everybody
Chat,
about
if
yourself.
you click on my name in the title, it'll
Yeah.
bring you directly to my Twitch.
That's the
Um,
easiest way.
from there, you can find my card, which has all of my socials.
Including her spicy
I'm
ones.
yeah, and I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure everybody here is of the 18 plus years and older,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you definitely have to be 18 plus
Yes.
in order to interact with my community. My Discord is actually age restricted.
Oh,
So
I
if
did
you
not
are
do that.
yeah, so if you are not 18, you actually can't join my Discord.
Oh wow.
Um because yeah. And then yeah, so you can find like all my socials there. I'm actually going to be streaming tonight with some friends on the Spicy site.
Oh,
Um
fun.
I'm also, if anybody knows the new game Neverness to Everness, I
Yes,
am an
I
official
like
content
NTE.
creator.
Oh shit, that's
I'm,
awesome. I know that
yep.
you were posting
So
about
I've
wanting to
been,
join that, but I didn't realize that you had gotten it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm an official creator for that.
That's
So
amazing.
any type of support
I order Miss
is
Tornado to
welcome.
duty on my
In
face.
order for me to get incentives for being in the
Yeah.
program.
But
And yeah,
that's amazing. Thank you again. I'm gonna go eat
yeah.
some tacos. That's what's for dinner tonight. Yeah, so
White
you're
people
gonna
taco night.
white people taco night. Yeah, white people taco night. Wait, did we just assume? Did we just assume
Yes.
That's fair. You know what? Completely valid, Queen. But I'm gonna pop off the call and I'm gonna go eat. Thank you again. All right, chat. We are gonna go raid. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And I am not back until next week, until Monday. But yeah, have a great night. We're gonna go raid Rosie. She's doing like a collab. She's cute. She's a cow. You'll like her. He is cute. I'm gonna go eat some good food. Hey, bye, Jack.